We know what happened last week in the elections, right?
Condolences, Brian.
U.S. election.
It was it was shocking, man. So I
Not
told
really.
you,
It wasn't
it
really that
was
shocking.
because when I thought she was gonna win, it was based on polls, which means garbage.
Oh, you realize
And
that.
this guy's predicted every president from the 80s. He's been right every single time. He was wrong on this one. That was shocking.
Difference is, and I'm not saying I'm for or against anyone. Difference is all those other presidents that were running were
Trump,
all.
he predicted Trump. When everyone thought Trump was out,
Oh, this guy predicted
he
Trump.
predicted Trump.
So he was right.
He predicted Biden. No, I mean he predicted Trump the first time.
Ah, okay.
Predicted Biden.
And now
He predicted all the other presidents, Obama, Bush, since Reagan.
Okay.
Since Reagan.
No,
days.
Nate Silver. What?
Well, I mean, hard to get
He
a
has like
perfect score your
13
whole life.
He has a 13-step thing that he does.
Did he invest in silver though? Maybe he didn't invest in silver.
This guy. Alan Lynchman.
That's why he lost.
All right, he's predicted every president with his
Good job.
13 metrics, and he got it wrong. That's why I think the election is fraudulent.
Damn you,
All
Alan.
right. So, and look at the election, and I'm thinking, okay, I'll tell you what I was thinking after, but I just want to show, there's a lot of, I think a big issue in this election was the economy, right? People felt the hurt from the inflation, stuff like that. And the way Trump always just structured how America was, states are shit, America is shit, where people are laughing at us, people are suffering, crime, and he's really painting this picture that is not true. So first what I want to do is I want to compare the Trump years to the Biden years on different levels, one in economy, one in legislative achievements, and there's a few other keystones, metrics I want to look at. So I want to look at that, and then I want to ask a group question, right? So we'll start off right away with some metrics that I want to compare. And I know Harris was the person running for president, but I'm putting it together with Biden because I think she pretty much would continue Biden's policies, maybe switch it a bit, but she was part of the Biden administration, and so I'm going to compare Biden and
Harris
and Trump's 4 years, both 4 years that they were in power.
What up, everybody? Thanks for sticking around. If you're loving this content, hit the like button. Hello, right here. Subscribe and join our awesome community. Ring that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Together, we're building something special. Very, very special. Let's grow the channel and have some fun along the way, baby. Want more content? Check out these other fantastic channels. You got Chicken Habs, one-stop shop for all those things that Habs and sports we talking about. Hello. Chicken Accounts. Dive into the world of finance and economics. Big money. Big. Find out the links below in the description.
One of the things I found funny was, I'm not like Biden. Okay, what are you gonna do different? That's different from Biden. She had no answer.
Yeah, I agree. They did not bring out really policy. She kind of did, but not enough. First of all, I think one thing she did bad was try and separate herself from the Biden administration, because the Biden did a lot of things, and I'm going to show you what Biden did. She should have played on that and say what else she could do different. But I find the campaign,
It was a bad campaign.
I agree, they missed the message.
Yeah.
So this is one who advanced his agenda more by issue. Biden destroys. I know this is very simple, but this is true. This is
great. Yeah.
Trump. All he accomplished was tax cuts, redoing the tax code, which benefited the rich, businesses and stuff like that. He got the Supreme Court, and I don't know, they say social issues, and these guys are tight end. But look, everything else, Biden did a lot. He accomplished a lot in a lot more categories than Trump.
What did he accomplish? Do you know, like in those categories?
This is kind of a breakdown. I'll go more into not every single thing, but I'll go down
just
to
the
more.
big one. I think the big thing for Trump was RFK, like we were saying earlier.
Could be.
I think so. Yeah, that was a big.
But I just know that right-wing pundits and Fox News, and they're always blasting about the economy, that it's better under Trump, the economy is better under Trump, Biden, it's the worst economy we had. It was always that's what they're always pushing. Let's compare. All right? This is the GDP. It tanked, obviously, during COVID. Went up under Biden and pretty much kept it above water. Pretty much kept it back to where it was. So the GDP did not suffer that much under Biden. There was this little gap over here. Consumer spending went up. Private business investment went up.
What dropped though?
Dropped here, but it came back up. Okay, here it's the thing. We paid more taxes. Is that what that means?
Tax
$20
receipts.
quarterly. I don't know what that means. Real gross net income. Does this mean more people were making more money?
I don't know. You set this up, man. Why are you asking?
Well, because I didn't understand everything. I just know that things look better.
Real gross domestic income.
That means people's
The GDP, pretty much.
it went up.
Yeah.
Starting from here. Well, actually, starting from here.
That's
You
why
kept
they
it up,
exclude
man.
that.
To say that Biden messed up the economy is nuts.
Well, okay, that's during pandemic. I'll tell you what
This
happened
part
during
is-
pandemic though. Okay, that was the pandemic, and again, I'm
I-
not shitting on Biden, but what happened during the pandemic? Everyone was home and spending money like crazy,
Not spending money.
spending money like
Spending money.
crazy.
Spending money. A lot of
Spending
people
money.
spend
Yeah,
money.
no one had anything to do. This is why now I sell musical instruments, and my job is impossible because there's the secondhand market of musical instruments that are basically brand new is insane.
Yeah, because a lot of people tried to pick up guitars during the
Yeah.
tried to learn how to play.
Yeah.
But I thought the whole reason one of the reasons the inflation went up is because people accumulated a lot of money because they're not spending a lot of money because they were home a lot. So there was a big accumulation of money, and that's why when things started opening up, people skyrocketed because they knew people had more money in their banks and stuff like that. No, that's not one of the
You
reasons of
remember,
inflation.
when we got all that cash from the government?
Yeah, that $2,000 a month.
Plus having an
Spending-
income, some
Okay,
people.
but look at it, states. I'm talking about
Yeah, the
U.S.
states
elections.
too.
States didn't get what we
Yeah,
got.
they got
money.
They didn't get what
They didn't get what we got, but
But
they got money.
But
Yeah.
they got fucking money too.
They got like one paycheck of $1,600. They didn't get $2,000.
I don't know exact numbers, but they had quite a bit of money too.
Dude, Amazon was going nuts. Dude,
Yeah,
me
'cause
and
you couldn't go
Chantal
to a
would be
store.
like, what are we buying this week? I'm bored.
This
But
is a big
nothing
part.
to do.
of-
Yes, this was a big issue, and yes, there was
Thanks,
more
Trudeau.
inflation.
And inflation slash, money in your pocket. you know.
Thanks, Trudeau.
Wait, let's just work
Yeah.
on inflation. Every country in the world suffered from inflation. So to think that it went down under Biden is nuts.
It didn't go down under Biden.
What do you mean it went down?
It didn't go down.
No,
under
I don't mean that the inflation went down. I mean the economy went down and inflation went up. Just to think that it's just a Biden thing, to think it's just a U.S. thing, is crazy. Because every country in the
Yeah.
whole entire world suffered from inflation. So you can't really blame it on Biden as if it's Biden's policy that caused inflation. It was another thing that affected the whole world. And I find people don't understand that.
I think they also had to print a lot of money though, right? During COVID, like it was a lot of money printing that the government had to print, so they take on more debt,
Because they're printing, well,
printing more money. So you
that's
have
how everybody did. Everybody,
but
well, look, the
Most.
G20.
Wow.
Argentina, I don't know what happened with that guy, but this Argentina, the inflation is 26%. Turkey is out of control.
Oh my God. Even with all those hair
Everybody.
transplants.
These are all the G20 every single country suffered from inflation. Everybody got it down. US got it down to 3.2. At the height in June 2022, it was at 9.1%. You got it down. So you can't blame Biden for inflation, but I find he doesn't get enough credit for bringing inflation down.
I think
I think the other thing also to look at and to consider is Biden had a couple of tough years. So with
For
the
sure.
whole
He started
pandemic-
off from the bottom.
Yeah.
And he did good.
Well, the pandemic didn't really help him as much either, right? So
Food prices, yes, everything went up. And it's undeniable. You can't argue that things went up, but I find people made it seem like it's Biden's fault. Like Biden did bad policy Biden did it the wrong. Like he didn't do right, and I find he did very right because he's one of the countries. U.S. is one of the countries to bring down the inflation the fastest.
Right? That I'm sorry, but not even the fucking governments that bring down inflation. The freaking central banks. It's the markets that themselves say, yeah,
Not necessarily.
Oh yeah,
When
because
the
they're still the only reason why the government's still spending. The reason why the economy's still rolling because the government is spending.
Yeah.
These
but that's the
guys-
policies he did. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guess what?
But what's better to let it all rot or try?
That still creates inflation slowly. But the only reason why it was at as a stable course is because the interest rates were going up. The central banks is inflation is out of control right now. We need to freaking hone it down.
Okay, but can you? Okay, when
It's
you say
not the government.
can you blame Biden for inflation? Can you?
Yeah, I do think that governments in general.
Okay, no, but Biden.
Of course, I do.
You can blame Biden.
Yeah, I can. I blame Trump. I blame Biden. I blame the guy before.
Okay, but
fucking Barack.
Okay, that's good. You don't uniquely just blame Biden.
No, it's all governments.
Okay, but I find that's how when you interview people from the right, they're like Biden, country's going to shit. Like, he caused inflation when he didn't cause inflation. If anything, he helped curb inflation.
No, you're still thinking that, but it's really wrong what you're thinking. Governments don't. They have no choice but to spend, and by spending, because they don't know any better. The moment that you stop spending, that's when depression hits. Okay? That's what's going to happen. Deflation is going to happen. And the real deflation is going to be hurting in a very fast way. And nobody wants to be that guy that falls on the knife. That falls on the knife anymore. Okay?
Look, there's people that suffered. So there's certain people that did not manage the inflation correctly, and they're suffering. And people that went down, it's because they did something. It's not because it just magically went down. It's because they put in policies that brought it down. No? Am I wrong to say
Central
that?
banks.
They had to raise interest rates to curb inflation.
Oh, yeah, I want to get back to
Yeah, let's go back to, sorry, yeah, bro.
I just want to show business starting up. Went up in Biden. Unemployment rate.
China.
Biden did a good job.
Unemployment is very good right now.
Change in labor force. I don't know what this means, but it looks good. It looks like it went up in Biden.
Yeah, it looks like
Wage growth went up with
wow.
Biden.
A lot.
So people's wages went up under Biden.
But that can also be a problem.
That's why maybe things are more expensive.
Yeah.
Because they have to attract people to come back to work and stuff like that, so wages have to go up. But in the end, wages went up.
The charts we can't read.
Yes.
I love those.
You're looking at fucking trading stocks. You understand that shit?
I'm starting to get the hang of it.
And wherever you see a country that's dealing with inflation, what do the citizens do? They can't keep their money in currency. They buy the stock market. Okay, they buy something to protect their currency.
It's because Trump always talks about stock market as if it's something good. And you're right. It's not a good indication of an economy, but the Republicans always use it when it's good for Trump.
Of course they're going to do that. Right, it's
So
politics.
The public's all behind it, right?
If you look at historically, like Argentina, their inflation rate was, let's say, 20,000%. Okay, well, guess what? The stock market did. It went up 40,000%. Okay, it surpassed the inflation
But
rate.
the inflation is looking bad, though.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just trying to say that
Okay.
in order you to protect yourself, what do the Argentinians do? They buy either the stock market, where they're companies that they know what they're doing with their money, not the government, or they go and buy the U.S. dollar or gold. That's what they do, and that's what we should all be doing right now. Fuck, 'Cause
Gold, US dollar,
don't keep your
Bitcoin.
money in government bonds, and don't keep your money in fucking in fiat, in actual Canadian dollar terms. You're gonna get burned.
So a quick breakdown. See, Trump,
Bless you.
Biden. So Trump inherited a good economy. Biden inherited a disaster. Inflation went up 7.1% under Trump before pandemic when inflation was going up. Obviously, it skyrocketed under Biden, 20.1%. Did you guys see?
Yeah.
Unemployment,
Put it down.
he brought it down. Biden got it was at 6.7 when he got the economy when he became
'cause of
president, but he brought
pandemic.
it down to 4.1. Stock market rose 16.3%. Biden it still rose 12.6%. GDP is actually higher under Biden, went up 3.5%. That debt. Trump added $8.4 trillion to the debt. Biden added 4.3. With all those things that you guys say they were paying people and stuff like that, it only went, during COVID they were giving out money for free. Only went up $4.3 trillion. Trump went, find me under Trump, find something else. I researched. Under Trump, 8.4. You know why it went 8.4 trillion? Because of the tax. He didn't tax the rich, and that added more deficit to the economy. I'm serious. That's what happened. Look it up. Legislative. Okay. So legislative, to me, what I'm putting here is a president that got things signed through the House, the Senate, and then he signed. So he went through the channels of how to make laws, right? Trump, the great art of the deal guy, what do you got? You got 3 Supreme Courts. One was stolen from Obama. Okay.
Which one?
When it was Obama's pick, they said, no, it's not fair. You shouldn't pick a Supreme Court justice in an election year. And then when it happened the next election, she died 3 months before the election, and then they quickly forced another Supreme Court justice in. So they went against their word. So they stole a Supreme Court justice. The only legislative achievements Trump did was the tax cuts, which has caused the $8.4 trillion national debt. What is it?
It's actually reversed.
I don't know.
The actual, like there's finance guys that I listen to all the time, and yes, obviously Trump went up too. Biden fucking skyrocketed shit. And it's gonna continue anyway, unless they really do.
What's 22 minus 14 is 8, right?
Yeah.
And that minus 28 is 6. So yeah, so Trump did more. That's more. Like I'm trying to compare the debt here. When
14 to 20.
Biden got in power, it was at 22 trillion, and then when he left, it's at 28 trillion. So that's 6 trillion.
Yeah.
When Trump was in power, around 14 something, and then when he left, it was almost 22.
But that's the COVID relief, or
Right. The real debt of the United States right now is Biden's still in office.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it's 37 trillion right now. It's not 28, whatever you're looking at there.
I don't know. We have conflicting numbers, but
Yeah. That's all I'm trying to say. Whatever. That
right.
obviously that
Let's
number
just go back.
bugged me. Sorry.
All right. And Biden did American Rescue Plan Act, which is from American Rescue Plan Act. Fuck, I forgot. The infrastructure bill, $1 trillion to invest in the country to rebuild all the infrastructure. Trump was doing that, wanted to do that all the time. He never could pull it off. Even when he had the House and the Senate, he never pulled it off. The COVID vaccination campaign, that's controversial if you like it or not. Chips and Science Act, that's to create new manufacturing jobs for technology, to make chips in the United States instead of in Taiwan and China and stuff. The Inflation Reduction Act, that's what I was saying. He did policies to fight inflation. He did that. I don't know all the details and stuff, but these are legislative achievements that Biden did that Trump did what? Trump did nothing. He did Space Force and he did criminal justice reform, which is a good thing, I guess. But the only real legislative thing is the tax cuts. So who's more for the people, Trump or Biden? Anyways, executive orders. Trump did 71 executive orders. That's when you don't have to go through the channels of the House and the Senate. There's certain actions, powers that the president has, you could do. I don't know if that's a good thing, but my point is Biden was more productive in executive orders rather than Trump. How many impeachments does Biden and Trump have? 2 impeachments. Criminal indictments, 4. Trump has 4, Biden 0. Even though he was they're doing an investigation under Hunter Biden taking money from Ukraine and came out with nothing after 4 years of investigations. Government shutdowns. Trump had 2 government shutdowns when he was president, and he had one of 3 days and one of 35 days. A record. 35-day shutdown. The government was shut down for 35. You
And
know
the
why?
best.
You know why it was shut down? Because I want the wall. You guys, I'm closing down the government if I'm not getting my wall. Big baby. Did that, and the people had to finally tell them, guys, bro, the government can't shut down forever. You have to at one point go in the government.
It'll be interesting the next one.
I want to do this comparison because I want to I want you guys to really feel informed of Biden versus Trump, their accomplishments and stuff like that. And my question is, why do voters not care about policy? Why don't they care about truth? Why can't they look back and see the truth of what actually happened under Biden and under Trump? Why is that not a factor?
Because no one's breaking it down for them like this.
Because they just believe what they're told. That's all. Just like
Exactly.
here. They just believe what they're told.
It's the parts that are going to hurt them that they remember. And that's the problem, right? So people think, okay, Trump, stock market, crypto, big believer, make money, make $1. Now looking at all those policies, he went in, he obviously had to deal with the pandemic, but it's loss of jobs, like regardless of what the charts are, but people lost, had inflation, it hurt people. So, and that's what people, like if you drill it down, go back to like the actual end individual, that's what's happening.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Steve?
I think public is they vote their heart, voted somebody they believe in, what they saw Trump was bringing to the table. The Democratic
Absolutely
Party.
right. Voters do not care about policy. They don't care about the truth.
Brian, I'm sorry, but there's some things. Okay, I me personally, like I said from the start, like if I would vote for, if I was American, I'd Trump. It's not because I believe in any of these policies. I don't believe any of this shit. What I felt is if there's more unity that was being created with the assembly, the people that he was assembling himself. Because the first term, I must admit, he just got swallowed up by the neocons, by all these people that they're warhawks too. They were keeping things undercover, but I think he's on a track a little more different, and he is speaking differently. He's speaking like we. Before it was I. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Now he's like, we're gonna do this, and I think that he's got the right attitude this time a little bit more, and it's good to have a change. It's always good to have a change. I think the Democrats officially have lost touch. They need to reorganize.
And I don't think they voted against Biden. I think they were just voting against Kamala. They didn't want her.
There was because Biden was even in a worse position. Kamala at least brought it up, the gap very close. Biden for sure would have been a landslide before.
Oh yeah, big time.
Kamala actually brought them up in very close margin. Well, polls wise, right? So it was against Biden. It was against Kamala.
But I think against what I'm trying to say is it wasn't necessarily against Biden. It was that Kamala had nothing new to say. So it was like, okay, we're just going to vote her in and she's just going to not do anything different. She has no new ideas. You know what I mean? If you listen to a lot of her interviews, there's not much.
Status quo. It's just status quo.
Barely even. Barely even.
All of a sudden, look at the director of health that they had before. Now look, you have RFK. Who can actually do a chin-up.
Let's see how
RFK
does before we...
there's a couple of things that are impressive about what his choices. Tulsi Gabbard. The national... this girl was a Democrat.
Yeah.
He's choosing Democrat people. He's surrounding himself with
flip-floppers.
Yeah, flip-floppers. But this because the left has lost touch. They're not listening to the independent anymore. And this is where because look at us. We're all over the place. We're fucking crazy. Look at us. Our youth. Our generation. Our generation's all over the place. We're not left or right.
Yeah,
we're in
true.
between. We're all over the place. We're not just left. Meanwhile, you guys are focused on your left, Trump, all he did was bring a couple of people that are from the left.
That's true.
How pretty solid is that? It's pretty smart of him.
He didn't bring them from the left.
Yeah, but they were already
They converted
independent.
to the
They
right.
converted.
And
Yeah.
It's not.
And
He didn't poach left.
The Kennedy family turning Republican, Brian.
It's not the Kennedy family. Sorry,
That's
okay.
not.
It's not
part of the
Kennedy
Kennedy family.
It's one. So Osama bin Laden was there. Does it mean
Well,
the
he
whole
turned,
fucking
turned
Sabu-
Elon too.
Yeah, man, everybody.
Yeah.
Well,
turned
Elon, I
fucking-
think it's
Yeah, he
more.
turned Elon. He
He's gonna get all
turned,
those fucking
turned
NASA,
Joe Rogan.
He's gonna get all those NASA projects. Anyways, I want to tell you guys what people really care when they vote, or their mindset when they vote. People don't really care about the truth. Well, this is modern. They're willing to accept a lie if it goes in their beliefs. They're willing to believe a misinformation if it promotes what they believe how things should be, right? So they don't care about the truth. They don't care about facts. Well, not all, but most voters don't really care about facts. They don't care that someone lies, but if that lie agrees with the way their point of view of how things are, they don't care about the lie. They have a moral flexibility in the sense that the
Yeah, but
opposing
most voters vote that way. Most voters will vote with not educating themselves. They'll hear something. Okay, this is the way I'm voting because because they don't know the bigger picture. Most even
Yeah,
here,
that-
people will vote without knowing.
Or I've
Yeah.
always voted
That-
that, and that's what I'm
that's
always
exactly the
gonna
point
vote.
I'm trying to make. I'm trying to. They have a moral flexibility. When it's their guy, the bar is raising low for what is the standards. They'll overlook falsehoods and stuff like that. When it's the opposite tenant, they raise the bar on truth. They raise the bar in policy. They raise the bar of what they did in the past and stuff like that. So once they choose a guy, the guy can do all kinds of faults. They don't care, but they have a higher standard for the opposing person. They don't care in the sense of Trump. They want the border. They don't care if Trump says they're going to separate the parents from the kids. They don't care that we're going to just fucking shoot them out on the border. They don't care about that as long as their immigration is down. So that's like, as long as the political goal their political goals met, they don't care of all the rhetoric talk. Also, Trump and Republicans, they do well with non-college people. Why? Because when you go to university and you go to college, when you write a paper, you have to have citations. You have to have sources that prove what you're trying to prove, what you're trying to say, what you're trying to prove. So you actually have to do research and find proof that promotes your idea. Non-college white people never really have to do this. So they just believe things on face value instead of actually doing their due diligence of what's wrong and what's right, what's truth and what's lie. That's why non-college white folks are very popular with Trump and the right wing in general, because they just take things at face value. They don't look at the other side. As opposed to college people, university with degrees, they were trained to always be skeptical of always trying proofs to what they believe in.
Sorry, but I'm probably wrong, but Republicans in general, not in general, but Republicans, aren't a lot of them like
Religious?
no, yeah, they're super religious, but aren't they aren't a lot of them like don't have money and go to like prestigious schools and all that?
I think that goes both ways.
Yeah.
That isn't. My point is, most they have a big chunk of non-educated people. In the sense, people that don't go to university and stuff like that. They have a big chunk of that. It's because these people do not know how to not figure out, but like you said, they're just what they're told and they'll believe at face value.
Yeah.
They believe
They don't go
They
digging.
go to their pastor. The pastor says, "Trump, bring this. They'll do this for you guys," and they'll just believe it. They won't.
patriotic.
They're blindly patriotic in a sense, right?
They prey on the ignorant in order to get what the votes they want. That's all it is.
And also another thing about non-college educated people, they lean more to a guy who's like tough, like a sense of strength and order. Like they like right-wing ideologies. That's why all these like Mussolini and Hitler, they always had these fucking radical people because they don't care about policy. They look as that as
He's a strong person.
he's a
to
strong
lead
guy,
us,
so he's gonna bring us to the next level, you know. So that was pretty much what I wanted to say. Is like people just don't care about policy. They don't care about facts. They look at these little things that puts the pieces together to fill what they believe in, and that's what Democrats fail to do. I guess they just fail to really show the difference what Trump did and what we did and how we did it better. And I'm sure if they did that much better, like going Joe Rogan and stuff like that, I think it would have been a different
Big piece. That was a big piece of the action that they got
Huge.
to. They
Kamala
missed.
messed up by not going on that show.
Yeah,
Badly.
because they were kind of saying, "What is she gonna?"
I think it was too late to go on the show. It was like what 4 days before election. I understand it was like 3 months before. Then it would have made it. It would have steered. I don't think it would have changed anyone's mind. I don't think so.
I think she
I
just.
think it would have
doesn't
hurt her
enough-
more.
I think she didn't have enough substance as a person to.